Hi everyone, and welcome back to Lavender Cottage Fibre Arts podcast. For today we have not a standard podcast episode. We have our first attempt at doing like a knit and chat kind of video.
Well, it's actually our second attempt, isn't it? Because we did one and there was something, the camera was like didn't record or whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah. I can't remember what the issue was, but we did do one of these, but I can't remember if it was the camera or maybe the microphone didn't record something. Something was
went
wrong
to
with
the recycle bin of the computer. Yeah.
Yep.
Basically will be just like a shorter video where we just work on a project, maybe knitting, maybe crochet, maybe even embroidery, I suppose, and just have a bit of a chat, I guess, maybe usually about something fibre arts related, but not necessarily. We don't really have too much of a plan.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully you will find it, maybe not interesting necessarily, but just something nice to have on in the background while you're knitting, or I don't know,
you can kind of chat with
cleaning
us.
your house or something.
This was, didn't you say it was kind of inspired by the genre of like chatty, like get ready with me videos?
Yeah. I sometimes like to have them on in the background if I'm getting ready in the morning.
I've never really watched them, but
yeah. But yeah, before we go any further, just as per usual, we would just like to acknowledge that we are recording this video on the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, who are the traditional owners of the land, and like to extend our respect to their elders past, present and emerging, as well as any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people who happen to be watching this video. I think particularly important today, the day that we're recording this is the 14th of October, so it's actually the day of the referendum on the voice in Australia. So I guess,
which is, for anyone who's not from Australia, it's a vote to decide whether there should be an Indigenous voice to Parliament, which will be a body of Indigenous people that advise the Parliament on issues that are pertinent to them. So
and unfortunately a lot of the media coverage related in the lead up has been pretty ugly and I think quite hurtful towards Indigenous people. So I guess it's just
be a very sort of confronting time.
Important to, I guess, take care of yourself and just treat others with kindness during this time. I mean,
because it's almost 7 o'clock now, so probably I think the results they said was going to start being shown on TV from 6 o'clock. So
yeah.
The results will be starting to come in, but.
So what are you working on today, Pia?
I am working on my continental knitting, basically. So this is a square of the Knit Picks U Shift Afghan blanket, which is a mitre square blanket that I had been working on. But I decided that I would try doing some continental knitting for that because I've only ever done English knitting before, so I'm still getting used to it. So don't look too closely at my hands because you probably wonder what's going on. We're not very good at it yet. But yeah,
right. So I mean, everyone was a beginner at some point, like.
Yeah. So I'm just hoping that Continental will be a bit quicker because it's obviously quite a big project. At the moment, it's very slow going for me, I think, just while I'm kind of getting used to it.
Yeah.
But maybe I should time myself. The time difference of doing like a
square.
Well, not a whole square because that takes quite a while, but even just to knit like a couple of rows or whatever, see what the difference is in time.
Yeah. But I think like it's hard then to compare like being an experienced English knitter versus being a beginner continental knitter. Yeah. Even if it is slower at the moment, like if you persevere, it might be quicker.
But yeah, so this is, I've kind of almost finished this square. I think I might pull this out. I just want to finish the square, seeing as I'm fairly close to finishing it. But it is quite a bit smaller than the other squares that I've already done in English knitting, because I did size down one size on these needles, because I think everywhere, like a lot of people say that your tension will be looser with continental knitting.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has turned out to be quite small, so I will have to pull this out and start again. But I thought I might as well just finish it off because I'm quite close to the end.
Yeah.
And this is, I'm just using the the Brava Sport weight. This is just 100% acrylic yarn, and this was I bought the kit. You can get a kit for the Hue Shift Afghan on the Knit Picks website, and I'm doing the pastel rainbow colorway.
You know, if you want, I probably still have like a fair bit of just, I don't know, 8-ply cotton in various colours if you want to borrow some, or not borrow, but just have to just make like a dishcloth or something.
Oh, from Continental Knitting.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first projects that I did with Continental Knitting was those dish towels that I knit for Simone, our friend. I knit them for her as like a housewarming gift. And I guess because like something like that I feel like is a good project because like your tension doesn't really matter, like as long as it's fairly even throughout the project, but like the finished size of it
doesn't really matter.
It doesn't have to fit anyone, so
yeah, that's true.
It might be a good just sort of intro project kind of thing. Yeah.
And what are you working on?
I'm just working on a vanilla sock. So this one is just for me. The yarn I'm using a mini from an Etsy seller called Cheshire Hand Dyed, who I think is based in the UK. I'm using that for the cuff and the toe. I actually was going to use it for the heel as well, but on the first sock I like finished the heel and was knitting on the foot, and then I remembered, oh damn, I wanted to
you just forgot.
Yeah, I forgot to change colours for the heel, so I thought, oh, I'm not going back now to pull it all out.
I mean, I suppose the heel will generally be in your shoe, so
yeah, but I just kind of to like use up like the whole mini kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's just this sort of neon pink, and then the rest, the main colour of the sock, I'll show it maybe on the front where it's flat, is from Woolen Works, and Chloe is an Australian-based indie dyer, but I think she does ship internationally on her website though. And this colorway is called Neon Lights, except this one I think is actually a little bit different from the standard Neon Lights that she has, because I bought it at remember we went, I think it's called the Yarra Valley Wool Show that was in Mooroolbark. Yep. And she had a few skeins of neon lights that she had kind of like separated out from the others, because she said it just didn't come out like her normally. So I think maybe on this one the speckles weren't quite as crisp, like it had a bit more of, I would almost describe it as almost like a watercolor effect rather than
it's nice
the really sharp speckles. Yeah, I like it. So I mean, I don't have an issue with that, but I guess maybe if people, I don't know,
buying stuff for a big project or whatever.
Yeah, like particularly if people wanted sort of like a sweater quantity or whatever. I think that's why she kind of had it off to the side, that it was kind of supposed to be neon lights, but it didn't quite turn out like it usually does. Which, I mean, I guess that's just the nature of
hand-dyed
yarn, but
definitely.
But I think I have decided for myself, because I don't know if you've watched like any of our podcast episodes. Like in the last couple of episodes, like most of the FOs that I've had are just socks. So I think I have kind of made a little, I guess, rule for myself. Just because I do have a lot of whips that aren't socks, that haven't got a lot of work on them, that I kind of, I'm only going to let myself knit socks when I'm out of the house.
Oh.
Like, so for like on the train and stuff like that.
But yeah, because it's not your house, it's allowed.
I guess so. But like if I'm at home in the evening or like on the weekend or whatever, I should work on some of my other projects.
Well, I guess socks now is like kind of second nature for you.
And I feel like maybe I sort of tend to gravitate towards it because it is a bit more like not instant gratification, but just like faster gratification. So
I mean, I suppose it's also a good project, a good type of project to take on like public transport and stuff.
Because definitely. Like I think it's fine to knit it on the train, but I think then at home, like, because sometimes when you get home, you're like, oh, you know, only another 20 rows and I've finished the leg. I'll just do that tonight. But yeah, I want to make a bit more progress on some of my other
Because what other knitting stuff are you working on at the moment?
So I've got I still haven't finished the third Ghost Whisperer, that purple one.
Oh yeah.
And then the Calliope, the Highland slipover from Rosetta, the one that I basically finished and then frogged.
Oh, yeah,
and I'm knitting it in a smaller size. I've not really done much on that. I have an all over cable sock that I'm working on. So that one is allowed. I think it's more like vanilla socks.
Oh, okay, because that one requires a bit more kind of focus.
Yeah, and then I have started knitting a wrap as well that I was going to do as a Christmas gift for my mum. And then I've got
do you think it will be ready for Christmas?
Well, I guess it depends on whether I stick to my
next Christmas. I mean, her birthday's in March, so
yeah, that's true.
Would be if you miss out on Christmas.
That's true. And I've got a few crochet things on the go. Most of my
like that Stegosaurus thing.
Yeah, most of my current crochet things are actually things that I am intending to give to our nephew. So I think I probably should also, put my foot down on some of those because he's obviously Christmas is coming, but his birthday, like his first birthday, will be in January. So I don't know if maybe I'll try and finish the Stegosaurus as like a first birthday gift or something.
Yeah.
I
should probably also have a goal of making something for the first birthday.
Yeah, and I've kind of been thinking about like
on the first Christmas, I guess.
I guess because we're into the middle of October now. If I do want to do like handmade gifts for people for Christmas, like I think you kind of have to start thinking about it.
Oh, I think especially because this time of year, like time just kind of gets away from you. Kind of thing, and you have all these grand plans of making all these things for Christmas.
I also was thinking about making some Christmas decorations. Like you can knit like Christmas baubles and stuff like that, or
like crocheting some little like snowflakes
or something. Yeah, because we actually have in like our sort of family Christmas decorations some crocheted like snowflakes that our grandma, our dad's mum, made, and I wouldn't know exactly how old they are, but probably like 40 or 50 years old, like
maybe even older than
that. Potentially even older than that. They're very sort of traditional I guess German Christmas decorations. I've been looking at some Christmas decoration patterns on like Etsy and stuff, some like knitted ones, but also like some sort of felt ones that are like embroidered felt that look really, really cool. But I just think if I did buy a pattern for that would be something that I would do for next year or like
never.
Yeah, kind of thing. But I don't know, I was thinking for Christmas gifts maybe just to do socks, so I did actually send, because I did I took Nitty Natty's Perfect Fit Socks course during the year, and it is quite helpful. Well, I found it helpful for being like learning how to knit socks for other people based on their measurements. And she actually makes a video that you can then send people the link to the video, and it tells them how to measure their foot for you to be able to make socks. So I have actually sent out that video in our family chat, but I haven't received any replies.
Oh, I need to do it.
So
I'm sorry.
Yeah, otherwise, to be honest, I'll just give people like a voucher maybe for a pair of...
like what you did for Mother's Day.
Yeah, what I did for Mum for Mother's Day. But I think I might try and knit that wrap for Mum. And then for my dad, I've still got one more ball of the crazy Zauberball that I haven't... So I've knit him now 3 pairs of socks.
Oh, really? What's the other one that you haven't done yet?
It's called Spring is Here. It's like a blue and green kind of colour.
Oh, I've seen that.
Possibly, maybe not. Yeah, so I think I'll save that one. That was, I think I bought 4 Salva bowls that I thought would be like nice colours for him.
Yeah.
So I've done 3 of them, so I think I'll save one of them for Christmas. And then I guess for everyone else, I'll just, I don't know, pick colours that I think that they would like, or that's
Susie. One of the dogs, Susie, was just doing this thing where I think she's asleep, but like she must be dreaming that she's like running, because she's like kind of moving her legs. So if you can hear some weird kind of noises, That's what it is.
Yeah, and I've also gone down a bit of a YouTube rabbit hole about English paper piecing. So I don't know if I could make something with some like Christmassy fabric.
Oh yeah, because do we still have some Christmas fabric?
Oh yeah, we've got loads of Christmas fabric. Yeah, me and Pierre kind of have like, I guess, like a bit of a joint
like craft
supplies stash. Like I guess some of the stuff is like individual people.
I mean, I think some of it was probably stuff that I bought, and when I moved out, I just didn't ever take it with me.
Yeah, but yeah, I've been sort of looking into English paper piecing just because I think I have in my fabric stash, I have quite a lot of like small, tiny bits of fabric that you can't really use for much. And I just thought English paper piecing seems like it would be a cool way to use up like small bits of fabric.
Yeah.
And I feel like as well, if you want to do some patchwork, it's probably, I feel like maybe it's a good introduction to it because the initial outlay is not that much money because like you just, because it's all hand stitched. So you just need the papers, which you can actually just like print out some paper and cut them out yourself. But to get a packet of like 100 of the paper templates was like $5. So you need that, a rotary cutter. I've already got a rotary cutter.
Yeah.
And some quilting needles, which a packet of those is like $6 or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And some thread.
So
you could get started with it. Yeah, I feel like for probably less than $20 or $30.
If you already had like fabric to use.
Yeah. And then I guess, then if it turns out that I don't like it and I find it really boring or whatever, like I haven't, gone out and spent hundreds of dollars kind of thing. So I've kind of been, I like the YouTube channel The Last Homely House. She makes some really good videos, and I just like her, like Kate, her style of like quilts is like really fun, and and I can't remember the name, but someone, a lady Wendy who comes to the craft group at our local library, she did recommend to me another YouTube channel, so I have to look into that because I did mention to her that I was like,
and does she do that stuff?
Yeah, she does some English paper piecing herself as well. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe in a future podcast episode I'll have something to show, but yeah, I feel like at the moment I'll just be kind of dabbling and seeing if it's something that appeals to me or if I find it very tedious. I mean, I think it is very slow because it's all like hand done, but
I mean, I think like a lot of people say that quilts take them like years to finish.
Yeah, that's true. So,
which, I mean, especially if something's all hand stitched.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people actually get the, like you make the quilt top yourself, but then the actual quilting bit where they sew the top and the batting and the backing all together, they get a service to do that.
Yeah. Like a professional.
Yeah, because I think the like long arm quilting machines like cost as much as a car basically. So like
it's not accessible to
not really
the average person.
Especially if you're not sure if you would sort of keep up with
I mean, to spend that amount of money you'd have to be doing it as like a business.
Yeah, definitely. I think people do it as like a sort of, I don't know if they charge like per hour or like per size of the quilt. I'm honestly not sure, but I think I'll just start off with something small like a, I don't know, cushion cover or something, because then you can actually do the quilting. You can do that by hand as well,
or with like a regular sewing machine. Sorry, I just moved the camera. Sorry.
That's okay.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's fine.
You can still see. Sorry, I just like uncrossed my legs.
You can even like the stitching to like stitch the layers of the quilt together. Some people do that by hand because it just gives like a, I guess like a more like homely look, I think. And some people like quite like that. But you can do it with a sewing machine as well, but you need a special type of foot, which yeah, it doesn't come like a standard with the sewing machine. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I'll see how I go, and
yeah. This is the final central double decrease.
oh, you're up to the last.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I don't know. I should have put in a progress keeper to see like how many rows I would knit during our knit and chat, but oh well, doesn't matter. So yeah, I don't know. I thought maybe there would be some patterns to do like little sort of Christmas tree ornaments or something like that.
Yeah.
With
Not
that,
bad.
yeah.
Do you have a pair of scissors?
Yes, I do. In my notions tin.
So I just dropped the wrapper thing.
Oops, here we go.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So that's probably a good time to wrap up, I guess, if you've got to the end of your square.
Yeah, I'll just quickly, because I've got the other ones that I've already knitted here.
Like so you can compare the finished size. Yeah, that's a good idea.
So,
or maybe do it on a darker one.
Yeah, it's probably a bit easier to see. But so that's the sort of comparison of the size. So I think it's probably about...
It's sort of like one stripe of each colour less.
So maybe about... Maybe 1.5 centimetres.
Yeah.
Probably, or equivalent to probably about 1/2 inch. That it's smaller. So yeah, I think I will need to do... I'll try sizing up the needle and see if that...
Like, as long as the fabric isn't too sort of holey.
Too loose.
Yeah.
Because I think, what do you reckon? Is this more dense than this, or about the same?
Oh.
About the same.
About the same, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe I'll try with whatever size this. I think I did 4.5 millimeters for these.
Yeah, give it a go. I reckon I probably did about 8 rows on my sock, but I don't know. Cool.
Pretty decent.
Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed our little knit and chat, and hopefully you got some knitting or crochet or stitching or cleaning or whatever done.
Or just relaxing.
Yeah, relaxing with us. And yeah, I guess our next video will probably be one of our regular podcast episodes after this. So I think we're going to try and alternate, like once a month do a podcast, and also once a month, but in between do a knit and chat. I think maybe next knit and chat, maybe we'll kind of talk about, we're thinking of going to the She's Crafty in Castlemaine.
Oh, so, yes, and that's at the end of October.
End of October.
I guess depending on when we film the next one, we may have already been to that, but
probably, yeah. So it might be a little wrap up or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, see how we go. But yeah, thank you for joining us today, and I guess until our next video, we wish you happy stitching. Bye.
Bye.